Hi friends, welcome back. This is Vlogmas 14, and if you're new here, my name's Molly Berg, and it's going to be a short video on this Sunday. And I wanted to show you this because I really love this. It's a church, and it used to light up, but the light is burned out, which I probably could replace. I had gotten these at Joann Fabrics, and we know Joann Fabrics is closed now permanently, which is a real bummer because I got so many nice things there in the past. But I do have this, and it reminds me of a church that I went to when I was a child, up to probably the age of at least 10 or 12. And my parents, we were Catholic, and it was not on the best part of town. It was across where the railroad tracks were, which is pretty cool. And sometimes we'd be late for church because the train was coming through. When I was a kid, I was kind of excited about that because, you know, kids in church sometimes were kind of bored when we're there. So I thought, well, at least I only have to sit through half of the Mass. And plus I went to Catholic school, so we would go to Wednesday we would go to CCD, basically, and go to church and all that. So I felt like I would go to church twice every week. But I have such great memories of this, and I remember the guy that rang the bell. It was one of those, you know, bells that they rang with the rope, and in the bell tower, he would ring it, you know, when we would come in. And it was a really small church, and it was always, you know, didn't get as much money as the other Catholic churches because it was a small congregation. And his name was Bruno. I remember that. And the sad thing, though, I hate to say something sad here, but he did die when I was there. I was like 10, and Bruno was not there any longer, and I was like that guy. He was so smiley and sweet, but he did pass away. And I do remember, because I was so young, I was kind of shocked because I didn't know a lot of people that had died at that point. And I think he had skin cancer of all things. Obviously, it was probably melanoma, but I didn't know anything about that as a child. And I was really sad. Like, I was really, really sad about it. And I remember going after he had passed, and they had a new, you know, they had people take turns or something that did it. I didn't even think my parents did it a few times. But it just wasn't the same to me having him there. But that's what this represents to me. And I noticed there's a lot of houses in my house, our house. And, you know, I like miniatures and I like doll houses, so that doesn't surprise me that there would be. But I'm going to go around and just show you my Christmas decorations that are house themed. So it's just kind of funny that I just noticed that. You'd think I would have noticed that a long time ago. But yeah, so this church is still standing today, but it looks really sad, and it had gorgeous stained glass windows, and there's been rocks thrown through it. I don't even like going past it anymore. I wouldn't take footage of it to show you because it's just too sad anyways. It's probably super bad inside. They're probably going to have to tear it down. Oh well, I don't even want to think about that. I just want to think of the good memories of it. So when I look at this, I think of Bruno's in here, and he's ringing the bell, and my parents and I and my family, my siblings, were all going in, and we're having church in these long pews, and they're like the curved pews. They were really, really old and oak and beautiful. And when they renovated they got all new ones that looked absolutely ugly compared to the old ones. And everyone was able to, they auctioned them off, so anyone there could, you know, buy one. And my parents bought one, and we had it in our living room throughout my life since that time they sold it to them. And it was a big part of our life because it was in our living room, and we'd all sit on it, or guests would sit on it. It was right by our round stone fireplace. And I'll try to get a picture of it. Oh my gosh. So this is, I don't know if you can see the pew in the background, but it is. I'm sitting on it. And those are some Santa bags my mom made us, one for each of us kids. And I still have them today. I have two of them that I'll probably show in another video. And they're so cute. And I had my kids use them too. But, and my granddaughter. Yep, there it is. And there I am. think I'm probably 9 or 10 in this photo. Yeah, that's another great memory. But anyways, I just wanted to show this. And then I had gotten another one at Joann's, and this one is the same, you know, year I got this. And this one actually still lights up. So that's kind of cool. It still lights. I can't believe it. Because it's probably 15 years old, maybe. Anyways, and this has little smoke coming out the top. I'm going to show you the nursery in a little bit here in the dollhouse. But first I'm going to show you all the houses I have all over our house. So this is the baby's room, and it doesn't have a lot in it, but what it does have in it is super cute. And all artisan made and custom. And this is the crib, obviously. And the crib's curtains in there are the same exact pattern of material, but just a different color. So the artisan that made this made the curtains in there too. And I just think it's so sweet. And it looks very vintage and kind of Jenny Lynn style, but more spindles and older looking, I think. And Jenny Lynn was more, you know, from the 80s or 70s maybe. But this looks more like a vintage crib. And then I have in here the wardrobe, which is so adorable, with all the pretty little things a baby would have. Even a christening gown hung right here. Beautiful hat. There's a little bunny in there. A doll. Some blocks. Just so many things. Look at the little doll. It's so cute. Things that are crocheted even. That are little sweaters. Little booties that are crocheted, ribbons. Even the hangers are with they're the satin hangers. I have this super cute, I hate the word cute, but how else can you say it really? It's a miniature, exquisite little wingback. And this came from Jenny Kelms, who I get the dolls from, her shop. But she has a lady that custom makes these, and so I'll put a link into her shop, and maybe she has some of these for sale in there too, I'm pretty sure. But she always gets in different, you know, they're the same type of look, but the material's a little different. And some are Beatrix Potter, but usually she doesn't do two that are exactly the same. So they're different patterns of it and colors. And in different other types of chairs with different material. And it's all around, of course. And to me, this looks like a chair you would sit in and put your little baby on your lap, and or little girl or boy, and read to them. And who doesn't like Beatrix Potter? I mean, seriously, I love that story. The illustrator of Beatrix Potter, which is Beatrix Potter, of course. And this is, yeah, Peter Rabbit and all his little sisters, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, and Jemima Puddle Ducks in there too. And then this beautiful fireplace, and I have a couple of her fireplaces. The lady I bought this from is on Etsy, but she's no longer making anything. She has a shop, but it's closed. And this has a lot of detail. I think it was so much work for her to do these, and she probably just, she was pretty young. I think she was pretty young. Maybe she just, you know, moved on to doing other things. But I don't know if you can see the candle cipher, or not cipher, I don't know, sniffer, candle sniffer. I'm not sure what that was called. We sniff the flame out. And little postcards with ribbons, books, little frames with portraits and a mirror. And then all those are portraits, and a little clock, the matches that are lit, and then there are 2 wax candles that are really wax. Unbelievable. And then this, I call it where they would wash their hands and everything, and it's down by it's on the end of the nursery, so it would be like when they come down the stairs. You'll see that in the room. This guy is out of England that I got this from, and he does shows. He does a lot of miniature shows, and his name is David Wood, and he did this one, and then this changing table, and this lady neither, I don't think she has a shop on Etsy anymore either. But I got that leather chair from her that I showed in a different video, and I just love the mattress on here too, and that bed in the other video came from the same lady with the same type of mattress on it, cushion, and it looks so real to me. This little cute teddy bear I'm gonna put in the chair, and then some diapers.